What's up, guys? This is Terrence Sellers bringing you another episode of Xtreme Performance Gaming from XPG. So, if you've watched some of our past videos, you know that we, at first for this series, we were only doing, sort of Let's Play videos, testing laptops and performance for gaming. But we really wanted to, and if you've watched other videos, you might have heard this speech already, but we really wanted to change the model as we expanded the products we included in the Xtreme Performance Gaming video series. So when it was just laptops, it made sense to do, gaming videos because we wanted to really show off the performance of those laptops. Like, of course, the Xenia 15G. But as we were thinking about it more, and we did do a couple build-based gaming videos, but we really didn't feel like that it accentuated the performance of that specific product as well, doing a Let's Play sort of video, especially for something like a power supply, for a cooler, for a case, right? And we really wanted, the point of the series is to really sort of give you more background and insight into the value of the specific product we're talking about in that video. And so we decided that instead of doing a gaming video for a case video, we wanted to do a PC build video. So today we're going to do a PC build in the INVADER X chassis. So if you don't know the XPG INVADER X, this is a mid-tower chassis. This is award-winning. This has been out for a number of months now. We've actually, if you saw us at Computex, we actually brought out some additional versions. So now we actually have a BTF version for if you want to use reverse connectors. We have, multiple color schemes. We do white and black. We have, multiple models of the INVADER X sort of family. But so this is the original base INVADER X. This is a very good case. I have this case at home for my home build. And so I really like this case. It's a nice mid-tower. You can fit a really, like the compatibility options are really good. You can fit pretty much anything. I have a 4090 in mine at home. I have a Platinum PSU 1000 watt. I have a Z790 motherboard. So you can really fit a lot in this case. And so that's why I like it. So we're gonna do a build video today. And I wanted to do something more practical. So what I mean by that is like, you're gonna see a very big mixture of components that we're gonna put in this case. Like I said, it's very compatible with lots of different stuff. So I didn't just go run out and get all the top of the line, everything. I said, no, what would a realistic build look like? If you were, upgrading a system or you were building a new system, but you didn't have a big budget, what might that look like? Because one of the things I really like about the INVADER X is the price is really good too. So this is something you could use for a more mid-budget build, right? Or even a low-budget build if you really wanted to do, something that was affordable but still get a nice view. You can see it has the ocean view, we call that, with the tempered glass in the front and side. You can get a really nice angle view of your whole system. I really wanted to make this video something like that. So I don't have all the best parts. I have some parts that are really nice, and I have some that are sort of older. So there's a real mixture. So like the INVADER X case, this is a nice case. Like I said, this is not our newest model INVADER X, because we now have the BTF and some other models. This is our original model. But I have an XPG Fusion 1600 watt titanium power supply. This is one of the best power supplies money can buy right now on the market. I have a Asus 1660 Ti OC graphics card. This is not, sort of a new, amazing graphics card. This is a, sort of older model. I've got a Z690 motherboard from Aorus, right? So this is a newer motherboard, but it's not a new motherboard. We're at Z790 now. Like at home, I have a Z790. So this is a last gen motherboard. But I do have DDR5 Lancer RGB RAM. So this is some of the best RAM you can get on the market right now, 32 gigabyte sticks. I've got the XPG M.2 SX8200 SSD, right? So like we do have and there's a 1 terabyte model. So, and I have the XPG Levante X360 AIO cooler. So we've got a really big mixture of parts here, all sorts of different, stuff, different levels of quality, not quality, but middle end versus high end versus OG versus new gen. So that's what I really, and I believe that that's more realistic for what a lot of people building today's PCs will look like. And so that's why I wanted to do that instead of just getting all the nicest stuff. I wanted to show what kind of system a real user might build in this case. So we're gonna do a full build today. Bear with me. It's going to take, some time. I'm thinking I'm going to do the vertical mount. If you buy an Invader X, it does come with a vertical mount bracket, and it does come with a vertical mount adapter. I think I'm going to do the vertical mount. I wasn't at first, but I think why not? Let's do the vertical mount, just because a lot of people do like vertical mounting. So again, the point is to show, what can you do in this case. So let's get started. Building our full system in an XPG INVADER X. So the first thing I do when I build, I'm going to just take off the top and the front tempered glass panels, because you're not going to need these back on till the end of the build anyway. So I'm going to take off the top. I'm just going to put that aside for right now. I'll just set it down on the floor, right? Because again, we're not going to use it for a while. And the same thing, I'm going to take off this side tempered glass panel. And these are toolless, so you can just screw them right off, and then it just comes right off, very easy, nice track. So again, I'm going to set this over here, and we won't need this again till the end. So as you can see, comes pre-installed with 5 fans. So you've got 1 rear fan, and then you've got 3 reverse fans for the airflow, and then you've got 1 on the bottom as well. And you've got a PSU shroud as well to hide it, right? And as you can see, big shroud. I'm going to fit this, beefy XPG Fusion into this case, right? A lot of compatibility. The GPU clearance, I believe, is 400 millimeter. It might be 390, but you can fit most cards. Like, most cards don't go above 400, so like you can fit, ATX is the motherboard compatibility. So I have an ATX Z690, like I said. So let's get started. And of course you have the GPU stand, which comes with every INVADER X case. I'm going to put that aside for right now because we're not there yet. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually build inside of the motherboard. So I'm actually going to put the case aside for right now, and I'm going to put my CPU in and some other things, right? So like I said, I've got a Z690 Aorus motherboard. You probably would have bought something like this today used, maybe, because it's the last gen. And yeah, I'm using an i5 CPU. So just for the record, this is an i5 12600 KF, right? Again, this is what a sort of a normal, person's build might look like today, more on a budget. So we're going to just, put that right in there. Obviously, this is not XPG products, so that's why I'm not going to take a bunch of time to really talk about these ones. I'm just going to get this done so we can move on to the sort of the building, the system. And yeah, let's do that. So yeah, CPU's in. I'm going to put the bracket on right now. So this actually is part of, so again, I'm doing the XPG Levante X360 AIO cooler. So comes, of course, with the Intel bracket. So we're just going to put that right on right now. And it's your basic Intel bracket. You just put the bracket bottom through the holes, and then it slides right in. Easy to do. If I can keep it aimed properly. All right, let's do the slide. There we go. Yeah, and then this sort of, you can hear that snap. So there we go. I'm just going to keep it. See, it keeps falling. There we go. Thank you. Okay. So now that's in, and I'm going to put. So it comes with these standoff brackets, I guess I'm going to call them. You get you have 4 of them, obviously. So you're just going to screw those right in, and obviously once I have them all in, toolless again, I will then pick up the motherboard and show you from both sides. So let's just quickly do all 4. So when you're doing a build, if you're not aware, you should always do, when you do the 4 screw thing, you should always do diagonals. Yeah, whenever you're doing anything like that, do diagonals. It's it for anything, whether you're putting in the cooler, putting in the power supply, anything that has 4 screw in an X pattern, you do diagonals. That's just good etiquette for building, right? And that's when I was building my first PC, that's what I was taught. And that's what I've done, you know, it's been now about 10 years since I built my first PC. So yeah, but yeah, so you're gonna do all 4 of these brackets, standoffs, right? And like, yeah, you can just screw them right on since it's toolless, very easy to do, right? Okay, and my fingers are kind of big, and that's actually a crucial point. My hands are big, but I can still build in this case. So that is, you know, something nice about it, that even I was able to, you know, build my system at home again with higher end components. Like I have all new components in mind. So yeah, so once you get that on, so the bracket goes on very easily. So like we said, you can see the back of the bracket, right? And then we have the standoffs in the front, right? And you just want to make sure that those are tight enough. You can, I'm not going to do it because this is just a test build anyway. If you feel like they're not tight enough, you can obviously use a channel lock to or you know, some sort of pliers to tighten it, but I think we're good here with this. It is meant to be toolless, so it is okay. And I'm not going to put the cooler on yet, just because we're doing an AIO, so we don't want to put it on yet because it's too much trouble. So next thing I'll actually do is put the RAM in, right? And so like I said, this is our Lancer DDR5 RGB. These are 32 gigabyte sticks, so we have, you know, 124 total, or 128, excuse me, total RAM. So we're going to put in all 4. And you know how to put in RAM. You just, you know, follow the track, make sure the tracks are open on the grooves are open on the motherboard. And, you know, you just follow it down. And yeah, you know, just follow it. Make sure you're lined up, and then just press down. And hear that nice snapping sound, right? And so yeah, we're just going to do that 4 times really easily. Right, just follow the tracks every time. Right, and that's 2. Right, and then we're gonna do 2 more. Right, and I'm kind of trying to do a speed build. I'm trying to see it with like, because every time I build one for myself, it takes me hours. Like, it's such a long process. But I'm like, no. Let's try to get this done quickly. Let's keep this practical. All right, so now we've got, again, our cooling bracket, and we've got our DDR5 RAM in. So that's good. And then let's also put in the SSD right now. So you know, I fought changing from HDD for a long time. Like I was like, oh no, HDDs are fine. And my old system had 10 HDDs in it, and then just a 2.5 inch SSD. And then with my newest build, I was like, you know what, fine, let's go full, let's get rid of all the HDDs, let's just go M.2. And I have to say, M.2 is the way to go. Like, just throw out your HDDs, get some, like I have 4 terabyte XPG, I have Gamix S70 blades at home, but this is, you know, this is nice too. And so yeah, this is just your standard, you know, M.2. And so we're just going to put that right in. And you know how to put it in M.2 at this point. If you have, even if you just have like a PS5, you know how to put it in M.2. And so yeah, just going to put that right back on. Easy peasy, right? And what's actually funny is this motherboard, because I'm using like used components and things intentionally. There's screws missing on this board. For some of this, it'll still work fine, but like, it's like, hey, why am I missing screws? And so like, what I'm actually going to do is, because I'm not using the bigger plate, I'm going to take a screw. We're actually missing the second screw for the tiny plate that I'm using for this SSD. So I'm going to steal one of these screws from the bigger plate just to hold down this one, just because this is where I'm putting my SSD. Ideally, that doesn't happen to you because you have, you know, all your screws, but I wanted to really make this more realistic, and so I just got mostly used stuff. Like the PSU is brand new, I just opened that today. The SSD is brand new, I just opened that today, but a lot of these parts, including the parts from XPG, are all used stuff that I acquired from various channels. Yeah, see? Like, but yeah, like, so this motherboard has definitely been through it's been around the block a few times. I can tell just building on it. Like this is definitely not a new motherboard. Like if I was building a new system for myself, I would not use this board. All right, this screw's not long enough for this one. Why not? Ah, well, you know what? Let's not do it then. Let's just keep it the way it was. Because again, that's my, I have had to build systems like this in the past where you're using parts that are, questionable, and you just make do. All right, so now we've got our, RAM in, our motherboard, our CPU, our SSD. So now I am gonna put this into the case. So first thing I'm gonna do is set the case back down on its side. All right. All right, so let's do that. So we'll go on its side. Right. It's not too heavy of a case. See, I only have the one camera, else I would do the full angle thing. And the standoff. So the case comes with the standoffs. I already have the standoffs in where I need them, but it's like any case where you can move the standoffs around. You can put them where you need them for your motherboard. Again, I'm using ATX. I'm using the ATX standoff layout, but you can also do MATX, and anything you would need that's ATX or lower. And then we're just gonna I'll turn it on its side just so you can see. You got to match to the the cable's in the way. Oops. Fans, pre-installed fans. Okay, let's try that again. So you just got to match, the motherboard to the back grating. I can't remember there is a name for this thing, and I cannot remember what it is called. This sort of the motherboard track or whatever. I can't remember the name. Come on, there we go. There, yes, okay, here we go. Now we're getting where we need to be. So yeah, you just got to match that up nicely. All right, and then we're just going to put our screws in. And so I have all my screws right here. Right, and so yeah, we'll just, and again, like I said, you do the diagonal. So with the motherboard, I actually like to start with the middle screw, or one of the middle screws. Just because it secures it down in the middle. And so I'll actually do both sides of the middle first. There's no center ones. A lot of ATX will do the 9-hole, but because now you have that motherboard, or rather that SSD shroud, you lose your middle hole on a lot of motherboards now, unless it's like an eATX. And so we'll just do with the longer screwdriver. We're going to do just, there's only a left and right side middle. So we'll do both of those. And then I will do, like I said, the diagonal. So I'm going to do the top right corner first. Right. There we go. Make sure it's going down straight. The screws on a motherboard are, it's not as hard, but it is one of those tasks that it's like, it always feels like, oh, they're not perfectly straight. There's a little angle. There's always a little like, right? And it's just one of those things. I do feel like, in general, we have not evolved PC building much in the last decade. Like I said, first time I built one was about 10 years ago, and the process has not changed much. Like there are little things that have changed a bit, like again, using M.2s now instead of HDDs. But even that's, fairly recent. Like the M.2 craze started, how many years? When was the first M.2 that I encountered? Probably 5 years ago was the first M.2, maybe less than that even, right? But other than that, it's like you're still doing the same sort of cabling process. You're still doing a lot of the same, things. We haven't really evolved. PSUs, we have added a couple connectors over the years, but we haven't really evolved the process much. So it's like, it is in many ways like riding a bike. You might get into a couple hiccups, like, I'm going to do this vertical mount, and I've never done a vertical mount other than I've done a non-working sample vertical mount. I've never actually turned on a system that I did a vertical mount for, but I have had to do some vertical mounts for photography purposes. So this will be a new experience for me to actually have to do it and make sure it works. All right. So okay. So this is our last screw. So once all your motherboard screws are in, make sure they're tight, but don't overturn them. Then, now we're good. We've got the CPU, the DRAM, the SSD's on there, the motherboard's in the case, right? You got the case going. So that's, you know, sort of the easy part, right? Now, you gotta, you know, it's let's do the PSU now and sort of start to do some of this cabling, because then we're gonna have to do the cooler and the graphics card. I'll probably do the graphics card towards the end, but let's do the PSU now. So again, we have toolless, we're gonna take off this bracket. All right, PSU, easy to take off. And so now, I'm gonna take my XPG Fusion, fan down, right? It's funny because I've had people, like, there have been times where people were like arguing, like, is it fan down or is it fan up? Is it fan, right? And it's like, it's fan down, right? But I have definitely, you know, had people argue that. I mean, I guess different people, you can do fan up. It depends on your system and what you're doing, but I'm gonna do fan down, especially with a case like this that actually has, the part of it is your case is room. So like this case has, you know, it's standing off the ground. So you can do fan down to pull in cooler air, and like, you know, you have the room and you have the airflow holes. So it makes sense to do fan down. For some cases that are more flush, you might probably want to do a fan up, but let's do that fan down. I'm actually also, before I put the PSU in, I'm gonna put on some of the cables just to make that process a little easier. So let's put on our main cable now, right? And again, this is the XPG Fusion 1600 watt platinum, or titanium, excuse me, titanium. And yeah, so I'm gonna put on my main motherboard cable. Actually, I probably could do them all, because like, so on this case, there is a, there's the back cabling. So I'll take off the back panel now, since we're getting towards the PSU anyway. So let's do that. We'll take off this back panel, and yeah, again, toolless, and it just very easily slides right off. All right, let me put that aside. Okay, and so yeah, you can see in the back, we have the cable track. So we actually have a very nice cable track area so the motherboard plate is actually a couple inches off the back of the case, so that you have a lot of extra room just for cabling. And so it's actually very convenient. You can fit HDDs here. So these are actually all HDD brackets. So you could fit, you know, 3 on the inside here. And so you could take this off completely. Like, see, I'm not doing HDD, so I guess I can just take it off just to show you. I will just quickly remove this. So yeah, if you want that extra space, right? You say, oh, okay, I don't need the HDDs. I'm doing all M.2s now because we're in the future, and I need this extra space just for cabling management. You can just pop this bracket right off, and then you've got a lot of extra room for, you know, fitting your cables. And so yeah, let's do that now, since we're not going to use the HDDs anyway. Right, so yeah, it comes right off, very easy. Put that aside. So now I've got all this extra room, you can see, for cabling. And so that will make that process easier. And so, like I said, we're gonna do this PSU, but so let's put some of the cables on already, and you can actually see now we can go directly in, so it'll actually be easier to cable. But yeah, I'm gonna put on my main power right now, right? So let's do that. Okay. I'm doing this right. Wait, it's been a minute. Right? Oh yeah. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. There we go. So I put the main power on now. And then I'm also going to do the prime port. So the XPG Fusion, again, 1600 watt titanium, is a full digital PSU. So you actually have on it what's called the prime port. And so this one is called the prime port because you use XPG Prime, which is our, you know, our management software, to manage the digital functions. So all the monitoring, all the setting stuff, you do that through XPG Prime, which is free software. And so you need that prime port cable to do that. Is that the prime port? No, that's not the prime port. Which one is? I think this is the prime port cable. No, this one. I think it is this one. I haven't actually ever done a full digital build before, so I'm a little bit kind of guessing, checking myself. No, that's not the prime port. That's the OC cable. Where's my prime port cable? Let me see. It's in here. There's a lot of cables in here. Let's see. Where'd you go, prime port cable? OC. Am I missing the prime port cable? No, I can't be. Huh. Where is the prime port cable? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Am I just, maybe I'm just totally confused and I'm doing this wrong because I've never done a full digital before, but I feel like there should be a cable that comes with it for the prime port, but I'm not seeing it in the bag. I guess we're not going to do the full digital right now. I'll have to find that cable. That's I'm going to have to complain about that. They brought me this power supply bag, and it's missing a cable, which is very weird. Unless it comes with a motherboard, but I don't think it would because it's a full digital PSU. Right. Well, we're moving on. Let's move forward. Yeah, so I'm going to put that on. I'm going to, do my GPU cables now. So with this card, because again, this is an older card, it's just the one PCIe. You don't need it's not like, oh, you need 4 of them or something. It's just the one. So where's my PCIe cable? Is that it? Yeah, okay, that one's a PCIe. So we'll do that. Right, let's fit that, make sure that works. Oh, no, wait. I'm doing the wrong side. Right. Like I said, it's been a minute. All right. 6+2 pin PCIe. And you got 4, you got, I think it's 6. You got 6 PCIe ones for this power supply. And so he is, oh wait, I'm upside down. Come on. There it is. Yeah, okay, so that is the right cable. So let me take that off, but I'm gonna put this on the PSU now, just to speed that process up for later. All right, yeah, okay, give it to me right there. There we go. And let me also do the CPU cables now. Right. Actually, here, I'm going to move this just to make that a little easier for myself. Move this one. There we go. And where's my CPU cable? Nope, not that one. There you are. Okay, thank you. Right. And so this is a pretty simple build. We're just doing the one GPU. We're not going to do the overclock cable because, I wouldn't overclock this system anyway with the rest of these specs. You could overclock this PSU very easily, but and it comes as an OC link for that purpose. But yeah, I'm not trying to do all that. All right. So yeah, we got my bad. We've got the main power cable. We've got the CPU cable. We've got the PCIe for the GPU. This cable does a double CPU cabling, or this motherboard rather does a double CPU, so I'm going to do a second one. There you, yep, there it is, thank you. Okay. And you do have a 12 VH power connector. Actually, you've got 2 12 VH power connectors on this power supply. So you could do a 4090 or something we actually did 4 4090s last year at Computex 2023 for this with this PSU on one system. We did 4 4090s and just the one PSU. So you can do it, but this is not that kind of system we're building today. So I don't need that power connector today. Alrighty, and I'm not doing any SATA, so I don't need those. So we're pretty much good to go with the cabling. So let's do it. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna do fan down, and we're just gonna, move all these cables in through the track, and then we're gonna pull them out the back side with, again, because we took that bracket off. Right. So So let's pull these through. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. There it is. There we go. Okay. And yeah, you got the shroud here, so you're going to cover all this cabling up anyway. It's going to look nice and clean. Let me just make sure that my I/O panel cable goes through before it gets blocked. So let's make sure that that's coming through up to the motherboard. Actually, I could even connect that now. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Well, let me do it after I get this PSU in. All right. Oh, you know what? Actually, I should have probably put the bracket on first. Let's do that first. Where did I put that bracket I just had? There it is. Okay. All right. So, screwdriver. And where did my 4 screws go? Wait. Here we go. Okay. So with the power supply, you get the, obviously you get the 4 bracket screws. So we're going to put those on right now. I probably should have put this on before I started trying to put it into the case, but it is what it is. Won't be a problem. Okay. All right, so let's do that. All righty. And yeah, you know the drill. You just line up the holes. It's pretty simple. There it is. I had it backwards. I had it upside down. I was like, why isn't this lining up? Okay. Yeah, perfect. All right. This is one of those things where it's like, man, I wish I had, 3 or 4 hands so that I could hold everything in place at once. All right. And yeah, so, it's not, these screws aren't toolless. They never are. And they shouldn't be. But putting the bracket back onto the case is toolless, so that part will be very easy to do. So again, we're going to do the diagonal. All right, you do one, and then opposite side, or opposite diagonal side, and then another one opposite diagonal side. So let's do that. Get all these 4 on. Very nice, going pretty easily. And again, I should have done this before I started to try to put this PSU in, which is why now I'm like sitting on these cables badly, but we'll be fine. Okay, so now we can pull this through. There we go. See, it goes right in. Pull the cables out the back. Make sure I don't pull that one cable through again. Thank you. Okay. All righty. There we go. Thank you. Okay. So now I'm actually going to pull this a little bit more. See, you got plenty of room for the PSU. The issue is more just my cables, but the PSU itself has plenty of room inside the shroud to go. If I could show you a better angle, if I had another camera, I'd show you that, like, even with it going all the way in with the cables, you've got plenty of room. But you do have to make sure, because of the way it's built, because it is a pretty compact case, you have to put the cables connectors on before you put the PSU into the case, or you won't be able to have enough room for your hand to add them. So you will have to if you want to add a cable, you will have to take the entire PSU off to then add another cable on, which is, not too bad. And so yeah, okay. So toolless, connect it back into the case. Very easy. And that's 3, okay, and 4. All right, so now our PSU is in, and then we can, start the cabling process, and then we'll have to deal with the cooler, right? So I'm not sure the best way to to show this in a video form like this. I guess we'll do from the side. It's probably the closest thing to like efficient with one camera. If I had like 2 or 3 cameras, I could do multiple angles and be all fancy. Call me Kubrick, but I'm not Kubrick. So here we go. So we're going to use the cabling track, and we're going to go right through here, very conveniently located, so you can get right up to that motherboard, right? So yeah, we can just run the cable right through. And there we go. And these are the Fusion, we got a very nice thick cable. It's very protected. It's got a weave over it, so like you're not going to damage these cables, right? And they're very heavy duty. They're very well protected, so you don't have to worry about that. You just got to get it connected. Right? And so let's get this on here. Come on. I am having trouble lining up the extra. There we go. Okay. So now, the most difficult process when it comes to motherboard to building a PC is the cables. Yeah, that's right. Okay. This is everybody's struggle. I am struggling because this angle's bad, because I'm trying to do it in a way that makes you be able to see it, which is always annoying. And I don't know why we're still doing. Honestly, I don't know why we're still doing the broken or the separated pins rather. Like, whose motherboard isn't using all of them in 2024? So yeah, there we go. That's a nice, great. Okay, and the BTF version uses the back plug connector, so that is even easier because you don't need to do this anymore. You can just go from the back. You don't have to run it through, but you can. That was kind of hard. you can run it through, like as you can see, and then so let's now do the CPU. Right. So these two. Right, these are the correct ones for the CPU, right? Yes. Yeah, okay, it's these two, okay. So we can run those up through here, and this is always where I struggle because my hands are just too big. So this process right here of doing the CPU cables, this one is hard for me. Like this one, I absolutely struggle with every single time I build. It is the biggest challenge for me because of the size of my hands. Right. And I'm sort of like, I may end up regretting it because I decided to put the cooler in last, which might bite me. I might have to take that motherboard back off if I can't fit that cooler in. I'd probably check that now, actually. It's just so hard to do the cabling and the cooler. Like, it's so difficult to do. But like, it's definitely doable. But actually should be okay because with this case, you actually do the cooler in the front. Let me show you. You're not doing it in the back of the case. You're doing it in the front. So it actually shouldn't struggle to fit because you have enough headroom here for the cooler. So actually, I don't think I need to deal with that yet. So let's just get the CPU cables in, which is going to be a whole hassle for me, but we got to do it. And I already pushed one out. Alrighty. Let me make sure. Yeah, okay. Just trying to make sure these other connectors have a home where they need to go. Where are you? Okay. Yeah, okay, that's fine. No, wait, that one's a 3. See, I don't have a prime box here. That's what I kind of need. Prime box would actually help me solve a lot of problems. All right. All right. I might need to untie this one. This one cable with the just part of the case might need to come out of the tie just to get enough room. Yeah, I can do that. All right, that should do it. Here we go. Yes, see that? There we go. Perfect. That was perfect. All right, and then this one, you're gonna go, wait. You're gonna go here, the USB 3.2. This also, I think I'm gonna have to take out of the track, or out of the tie rather. There are built-in ties to the case as well. Like the PSU comes with 6 ties for cables, but then the case itself has 5 built in to it to make it even easier of a process for you. So, yeah, so let me pull that down and then through here. All right. Maybe that was too far down, right? See, and again, this is what I'm saying when I say like we haven't evolved the PC building process in years. It was like this when I built my first one a decade ago, and it's still like this now. Like we've never went like, how could we make I mean, well, no, we did finally say how can we make this easier because we invented BTF. So now that we have BTF, that is a little easier. I haven't built a BTF case yet. So I don't know how much easier it actually is. I've only read about it. I am curious to try it though because I do hate the cabling process because I have such big hands. So I am hoping that BTF process is much, much easier and that it sticks. So then when I build my next system, probably 7, 8 years from now, then it'll be like, oh, this is super easy, right? Or maybe it'll even have evolved the BTF since by that time it'll be even easier, right? So that's sort of the hope, but you know, we'll see what happens when we get there. All right, so now let me try again with my CPU cables. All right. And let's go here. Stay out of my way. Is the worst process. Okay. No, sorry. This is the absolute worst thing when you have big hands. There we go. That's one. Sometimes I literally just ask my wife, just because she has smaller hands than me. So I say, hey, honey, can you put this cable in for me? Because I can't do it. And she does build herself. Like she has built. So it's not like a foreign concept to her. Okay. And I am going to accept it. Let's put the other one. And I still got to do the fans, which is always the worst because there's just so many of them. Because again, you come pre-installed 5 fans, and you got to do the CPU cooler fans, which is another 3 fans in the case of the Levante 360. So it's like, yeah, a prime box is the way to go. If you want to get a prime box, which will let you connect 6 in one, I think. So that is way easier if you want that. If you do want to make that easier on yourself. I didn't do that here because I didn't. I'm lazy. So okay, cool. And now we can put this one on. Make sure we're in the right place. That's gonna be. There's gonna be there. All right, so I should actually run through this other route. There we go. Yeah, let's do that. All right. And this is the HD audio. Which is not going in. Why aren't you? This is not the right one? Wait a minute. It should be. Looks like it says it is. Oh, no, that was not the right one. Okay, no. So what's funny is it says it now. Way back when I first started building, they didn't tell you on the motherboard what these things were. You had to just know where they went. And so you had to look at a map and stuff that people online had posted. And it was like, what? And that's why to this day, you still have people who are super afraid of the cabling process because they remember the dark times. They think it's exactly still like that. And it's not exactly like that anymore. It has improved a bit. But it was you had to know, when you were doing the all of these, when you're doing all of your, IO panel stuff. Now I can look right here and it has a little map for me, which is really convenient. But back in the day, there was no map. You had to know the order. And so it was like, are you kidding with me? Like I have to do this. It's like, I can see the map, but I can't read the map. So maybe I need to use my phone for a light, right? Yeah, like there is a sort of a map you can now read. The manual also would have the map, and I believe it had the map back in the day as well. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So it's gonna be, wish I could get a better flashlight than this, but it is what it is. It's gonna be, yeah, PLED plus minus. Okay, let me see. Okay. Yeah, power LED plus and minus. So yeah, plus first. Okay. I hate this process. Because I have big hands. My hands are too big. Should get one of my I should have made one of the interns do it. Just like, hey, come to the cable. All right. Nope, still struggling. Big hands. And I want to be clear, I do not consider this a flaw of the case. Because it's like this with every case. I've even built in full towers, and it's the same problem because my hands are just big, and it is what it is. All right, and then it's HD. Yeah, okay, the HD plus and minus. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the HD LED. Okay. Leave in the comments your least favorite part about building a PC. All right, and then where's my power switch? Got to make sure I don't mess that one up or it won't turn on. I can't fully read. It's just so tiny. All right, I think I'm reading it correctly. So it should be like this. It should be plus to the left. Yeah, I'm sorry, this part's taking a long time, but it always does. It always does. It's just the name of the game when you have big hands. Probably when you have small hands too. I've never built a PC with small hands, but I assume that it's probably kind of hard for them too. But that's fine. And yeah, okay. So this, assuming that I did read these correctly, this should be correct if I can get the reset switch in to stay in. And, no, that was the wrong one. No, just pull. Okay, we're starting over. Damn it. Okay, let's try this again. I wonder if I can see why don't they just put them all together as one piece? Like, why don't they just make the motherboard always have the same order and the cases always have the same order, and then it's just like, yeah, just like it's just one, like, because there are all these other connectors that are just like one piece that you just plug in as a unit. Why don't they do that for this? And like, there's no reason not to. I mean, yeah, I'm sure there are like modders and stuff who are like, no, because I do it the special way, and it's like, yeah, okay, but like, you're a modder, mod the cable, like, right? Like the rest of us don't need this, right? Especially if you have big hands. All right, I'm gonna go for all four of them, or, nope. Wasting time. I was trying to do a speed run build, and here we are. my big hands. All right. I apologize for this terrible display of mediocrity, but don't really have a choice in the matter. So now I'm actually pulling the cable apart a little bit to give me more slack, so I can actually do this, and that should do it actually. Yeah, okay, where's my reset switch? There we go. Yeah, see, now it's going way quicker. It's way easier. Okay, HD at the bottom, or the HD's at the bottom, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, now that I've done that, it's going way faster. So, okay, and now just the power LED. All right, see, yeah, once I split it, it was like, oh, that went fast. Okay, let's turn this light off. Thank you, okay. So yeah, that's done. Okay, thank you. Alrighty, good. So that is all the cables for the motherboard, other than the fans. And we haven't put the GPU on yet, obviously. Let me do the fans right now. Well, I can't do all the fans because it still has a cooler, but I can do some of the fans. So let's do some of the fans. Where are you? Gotta find the, so when you get the Invader X, the fans are actually, a lot of them are sort of bracketed, or not bracketed, daisy chained together. So like we try to make this process a bit easier for you, but it also depends on your motherboard and your setup. Like you might not be able to use what we have set up for you without an adapter. Like I'm not seeing, because these are like, it's a 3-pin, so you can use an adapter, but we don't, like, if you don't have the adapter, which I don't have right now, how am I gonna do this? I kind of need the adapter, don't I? Yeah, I think I do. I might not be able to get these fans working. Right. I can do the RGB for the fans though, which is ironic. The fans themselves I can't get, but yeah, I can do the RGB part. All right, so for the RGB, it's going to be right here. Actually, here, let's go through this side. I should make that a little bit easier. Yeah, so for all the installed fans, should just be this, if I can get it in, this one thing. So this because it's daisy chained, just this one cable now is all 5 of these pre-installed ARGB fans the LEDs have power. The fan itself, the fans, those I do not have power yet. Wait a minute. Where is the thing? Where is my, wait. This is not that. This is the LED, right? Or is that the, no, is that the power? Wait. Wait a minute. I'm struggling a bit with finding the right. Yeah, I think it's this 3-pin, and I don't have a place to do a 3-pin on this motherboard, because even this motherboard's not that old, right? And I don't have an adapter on me. Ooh, could I jack into the cooler maybe? Maybe. Probably not the best idea though. Yeah, the cooler is easy because it's 4s. But the case one is a 3, and I don't have a 3. Let me see. I don't want to waste much time on this, guys. Let's just move forward, and we'll have to deal with it when we get there. Because like I do have a 3, but I don't know if I can I don't think I can just jack a 3 into it. Well, let's try it. Maybe it'll just let me. It plugged in, so we'll see if that works. We will see if that works. Okay, let's now put the cooler on. Or should I put the GPU? Yeah, let's put the cooler on first, and then we'll do the GPU. Okay, so like I said, Levante X360, and so I'm actually going to do the pump on the right side. You can do either side, but because of the room I have, I'm going to do the right side. So let's do that. And see, so like I said, because it has the front headroom, you can actually very easily do this. Just let me make sure it's lining up. Yes, okay. Let me find my mounting screws. Where did I put my mounting screws? There's my mounting screws. Yeah, okay. Alrighty. Thank you. And these, so these actually mounting screws came with the case. There are screws that come with the cooler as well. Oh no, I don't even need those ones. I need these ones, right? Make sure. These ones or these ones? I'm gonna say it's these ones. So yeah, these came with the case, but obviously the cooler has their own as well. But I'm just going to use the case ones because I don't know where I put the cooler ones. All right. So like I said, we're going to do pump on the right side, just for the purposes of space. Right, and so I'm going to start in the middle with these, with mounting the cooler. And you've got a really nice forgiving track here. So it's very, you can kind of just put this cooler wherever you can put this cooler. Like you don't have to be precise with it. There is plenty of room for it. And so yeah, you just get it on there and let it do its job. So yeah. And so yeah, I got one in. And then yeah, it's that once I get the second one in, the rest of it will be very easy to mount. Right. And that's it. See, now I've got those first 2 in. I did 2 middles, so now the rest of it I can mount very quickly with very little struggle. Right. Yep. Right. All righty, very nice. See, now we're going to get to the portion of the build where I start dropping screws. That's what's going to end up happening. And that's going to be super annoying because we know that you drop, 3 screws and you only get 2 back. All right. Almost. So that's all the center screws. Now he's got to do the corners. Okay. And like I said, I do the diagonal every time. Almost. Okay, just one more. It's kind of a little off to the side on this last one. I don't want to unmount the other one, so I'm going to make this work. No, I don't know if I can make it work. I think it's a little bit off. Like I pushed it a little bit too far to the left. That's disappointing. See if I can't just clear it. Oh, there it is. Cleared. Boom. All right. Cooler's mounted. See? Very easy. Cooler is in. So now we just got to put the pump on, right? So I'm going to actually lay it down to mount the pump just because that is the easier way to go when you're doing the pump. All right. Thank you. Okay. So, it's very standard. We already put the bracket on, so it's pretty, easy pump to mount or to secure, fasten, or whatever you want to call it. It's toolless, so it's these 4 toolless twists, or whatever. I don't know what the word you use is, but yeah, it's once you have the bracket on, this part's very easy. You just do it. Okay, 1, then do the diagonal again. Still wish I had a third hand. Okay. Okay, good, that's 2. Now 3. And so now once you get the first 2 on, the last 2 are much simpler because now it's in place. All right, and number 4. Right, and you can actually, what's nice about this cooler, I'll show you actually once I have it on, is that you can rotate the pump tubes, and so that really makes it easier for placement when you're trying to get your rest of your cables in and things and get it organized. You can rotate it a bit, so that makes it much easier to do. It's like the OG AIO coolers. The pipes are more rigid, and the tubes rather were more rigid. So like you had to really just mount it perfectly. But now you kind of have a lot more wiggle room, which is very convenient. So let me get this cables in. So we need a 4-pin, which I have several of. I'm trying to decide which one I want to use. And I'm going to use this one down here just because it's sort of out of the way. Actually, no, maybe I shouldn't use that one. Maybe I should use... Yeah, see, it wants me to use this one up here because it's the pump. I get why they want that, but it's harder to reach unless you do the cables before you mount the pump or the radiator, which I don't prefer to do. Because then you try to mount a radiator while the cables are sticking in your way. All right, that wasn't too bad. And then, so we're going to do the RGB. And which one do I want to use for this one? Let me see. I could do that one, but it's so far away. Like there's no conveniently placed ones. Yeah, I guess I got to do a far away one, which I'm not happy about. But actually, this cable's long enough on the Levante 360X where I could actually go to the back and then back out again. So let's do that. So here, as you can see, like I said, you can rotate the pipes. It's very, very maneuverable. And my cable for my RGB is so long that I'm actually going to go to the back of the case. So let's do it to here. Right. I can squeeze it through. Thank you. Okay. So we'll go to the back, right? Not too tight, but tight enough. And then we're going to come back towards the bottom, just because then I can use. Where'd you go? Where did my cables go? Where do my RGBs go that I was looking at? Oh, I can go over here. So I can actually do it here. right? And then now I have this much easier time of managing that cable for those fans for the cooler. So that's actually very easy. And then I need where's my power for these fans? There it is. And this is a 4-pin, so this is easy to do. So we can actually do the same thing where we can actually go behind it. This one might not be as long enough, but let's try it. Would be advantageous if it works. Just got to make sure the cables don't get caught in the fans, right? Actually, maybe I should go back underside of the pump just to ensure that does not happen. Like that. See now, now we have the magnetic fans, so that's actually made things a lot simpler. They're not standard. XPG is having them, but they don't come standard with the cooler yet. I'm sure in the future that will change, but for now, you know what? I'm just going to do the top ones. It's just easier. Just fit it in under the cooler. Go back down with this. All right, so let's go around the cooler, the radiator rather. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Yeah, that is the simpler way to do this. Even though my hand is so big. Okay. You know what they say about big hands? Big gloves. All right. I can see it and I can feel it, but I can't do it. I'm trying to do it with 2 fingers. Come on, 4-pin. There it is. There it is. Okay, success. Thank you. Okay, so we have now mounted the cooler. Right, I've got like a lot of cables that are hopefully not going to get in the way of my fans. But yeah, we've mounted the cooler, we've mounted the pump, we've put on our cable, done all our cabling, we've done our I/O panel cables, USBs and such. We did our CPU our CPU cables. We did our motherboard cable. Now, I just realized I forgot to put the thermal paste on. I'm gonna not put the thermal paste on only because this system will get taken apart after this video because we got to use these parts for other stuff. But I did forget. I will admit that I forgot the thermal paste. That is on me. In a different situation, I would take it off. It's not hard to take the pump off and do the thermal paste. As I showed you, it's just twist off, so it's fine. It's just, I'm just gonna forgo it, but I will acknowledge I forgot the thermal paste, which is super common. When I built my system at home, I did the same thing and had to unmount it and do the thermal paste again. All right, so now let's mount the GPU. So like I said, I wanna do the vertical mount. So to do the vertical mount on the Invader X, you have to put the vertical bracket. So it's actually very easy to change brackets, all toolless, so you just twist off, right? And then your vertical bracket, and the same thing, toolless, and you just put it back on and twist on. So it's actually a very fast process to change the bracket for the vertical mount, if I'm not doing it backwards. Let me see. There we go. Okay. And yeah, then you just twist on, easy. Alrighty. And then once that part's on, then you're just going to use the included GPU adapter, vertical mount GPU adapter. So right there, comes with the case, right? And so I'm sure different people do this differently. I mount first, right? So I'm going to mount it to the GPU first, the adapter, and you mount it the same way you would to the motherboard. So it's the same thing, same looking bracket thing, and then yeah. And so then once you have that on, right, then I go to the motherboard, right? And it depends on your specific GPU and your case and everything. I'm actually going to do let's do, I'm going to do to the bottom. So this motherboard has 3 GPU brackets. I'm going to do to the bottom. Actually, I'll do the middle one instead of the top one. The top, ideally, you'd do the top one if it's just the 1 GPU. But for space, it's actually going to be easier for me to do the middle one. So I'll do the middle one. It shouldn't be a problem. Like the motherboard will work with any of them. But like the optimal is the top one if it's your only GPU. But I'm just going to do the middle one. And then, you know, you just mount to the bracket like you would the normal bracket, but it's vertical. So you just, you know, you match the holes and then you just use your mounting screws. Where are my mounting screws? They're right here. Thank you. And this angle sucks, but do what you got to do. I have to, you know, I might have to even, no, I think I can do it. I think I can pull it off. All right, yeah, I can do this. There we go. Okay, we're good. That actually was pretty easy. That mounting was pretty easy to do. First time I tried to do a vertical mount, it did take me probably 10 minutes just because I'd never done it before. But this actually was very smooth. Again, INVADER X, right? Good case. All right, and so that's it. That's your vertical mount. And then, where's my power for my GPU? I lost track of it. Where did you go? Where'd you go? This is the cable. I know where the cable is, but where is? There it is. Okay, yeah, it's hidden at the top. Okay, good. Yeah, very easy to access though. That's nice. So let's now put the power. Put the power for the GPU. So this is the power for the GPU. So let's run it through the back. And we'll do it to the middle route just because of how the GPU is located. So turn it to have a good angle. And yeah, there we go. Okay. And this, I'm literally trying to do this looking through the tempered glass, super horrible angle. But let's, hopefully I can pull it with my left hand. I'm not left-handed. So. And I could have done this first. I could have done the power first. I just did not think about it. But, okay. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Done. Okay. So, we've done everything. Everything's plugged in. Forgot my thermal paste, but it should turn on without thermal paste. We just won't be able to like do stuff with it, which is fine because I don't have a monitor here to test that anyway. But, so now, what I'm gonna do is just plug it in and test with everything open, and if it works, fingers crossed, then I'm going to turn it back off, and then I will mount back on the panels, and then we'll be done. So, main power cable. All right. So let's turn it for a nice view, and watch as I failed to get the power right on these RGB fans. So, okay. Main power cable, thank you. And conveniently have an outlet right here. Gotta move it slightly. There we go, okay. So, if everything has gone as I hope it did, engage the power. So already, you see the fan spinning, and all of them are spinning, including the ones on the GPU, so you've got all of them. My RAM's already lighting up, right? So this is looking good. And yeah. Or did I get the power backwards because it's like on? Oh, maybe I got the power switch in the wrong place after all. Uh-oh. But it is spinning. You see it's all spinning. But yeah, the power went on automatically. So I do think that I have gotten the power switch wrong for the AIO panel. Or for the not the AIO panel, the IO panel. Yeah, which is funny because it's working, and as you see, my ARGB is not working. Like I pinned that wrong, which is weird. All right, so let's turn it off. Oh, wait, no, my LEDs are working, but they're not giving me RGB though, because these are RGB fans, but I'm not getting RGB, so I must have pinned it wrong. Unless the mother, no, okay, well, let's turn it off. All right. So it is, you saw it's working. It turned on, it spun, fine, but I have clearly messed something up. And I don't know what that something is. So let's see if we cannot figure that out. All right. Let me think about it. Oh, God, I cannot get to those now with the GPU mounted like that. I want to say that the reset and the power are reversed is my theory. As far as the RGB fans, though, I don't know. Although the fan power is all working, so that's fine. But the RGB was wrong for some reason. Because none of the RGB was working. But I did mount some of them, right? Weird. Yeah, see, now I don't want to take the cooler and everything off because we're so far into the project. Trying to see what I would have done wrong. I don't need the RGB. I want it. I don't need it. But I do need the power switch working properly. So that part I will fix before I call it. So the RGB I'm probably just going to leave. Sorry. I don't want to take this GPU all the way off. Shoot. Let me see. I wish I had some pliers would be the way to do it, the way to go. All right, I'm gonna have to unmount the GPU. It's the only way to do this. Well, maybe I can do it at this. Well, maybe I can pull it off at this angle. All right. Okay, so. Oh, yes, I do have them. I have them reversed. Yep, nope. I have the power and the reset switch reversed. I can see that. This lighting is better. So yeah, I immediately can see that. If I can just do it, then this will work. Ah, my big fingers. Come on, come on. GPU's in the way. And I didn't put the GPU stand in yet. Okay, and then so close. I'm so close. Okay, I think I got it. Assuming I didn't damage the whole motherboard, I think I got it. All right, I think I have it. So let's try this once more. Stand it back up. Again, I'm ignoring the, let me put the GPU stand in. I'm ignoring the RGB. Oh, my GPU stand's too tall for this because of the vertical mount. Okay, we can't do that. That's fine. All right, let's try this again. And then we're gonna put these panels on. Okay. And Okay, guys, let's try again. Fans did not start spinning because now it's actually in the right place. So you can see some of the lighting. So here we go. We ready? There it is. We have power. Turns on. Good. My RGB on my RAM works. I don't know why I'm not getting RGB on my fans though. Like I did plug them in and I'm just not getting RGB on my fans, which is super depressing because it would look cool. And I feel like I did it, you know, where it needed to go, but clearly I didn't. Because we have power. All the fans are spinning, so we know. And I mean, maybe it's just that these are not the right fans. Maybe somebody switched out my fans because, like, I'm getting white light. On all of them, I'm getting white light. Oh no, but I'm not getting any lights on my AIO cooler. Huh. It's supposed to be RGB. Oh, maybe because this is the base model, it's not the RGB fans. Oh, that could be it too. All right, well, in any case, the system itself is working, so I'm going to call that there. Now I'm going to put on, let me turn it off with the power switch, right? And then I'm going to unplug it, and then I'm going to put the panels back on, and then once the panels are back on, I'll turn it on one more time, and we'll end the video. So let's start by putting on the front panel. Actually, no, let's put on the back panel first. So let me turn this case. Okay. So like I said, it's you know, it's the toolless, very easy. You just match the track, slide it in. It's not hard at all. There is for the back panel, there is you know, like not locks, but like there's like a track that you hit with the panel, and then it mounts, like it connects. So it's very easy to do. If I can, you know, do it at this angle. Let me see. There we go. Thank you. Right. Come on. Come on. There we go. Thank you. Okay, that should be it now. Okay. Yes, there we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, and then the toolless. Oh, wait, no. The bottom of the left side isn't hitting it. There it is. Okay, thank you. That's what I needed. And okay, now it is. There it is. Thank you. Love the toolless. Love the toolless. Makes it way easier. Thank you. Okay. So yeah, so now you got the back. So now turn it this way. And now we'll do the front. So the front panel you put on differently. There's still like a guide that you have to hit, but it's vertical. So with the back panel, it's horizontal. With the front panel, it's vertical. And it's very easy to see. And so you just match the top, the bottom, and the top guides. And yeah, and then if you hit it right, it just slides down. So yeah, good, flush, and then same thing, toolless. Okay. Thank you. And then the top panel, same thing. You just hit the guides, slides on, easiest of them all. Toolless. And like I said, I left the bracket off, so this is the hard drive bracket. You can put it back on if you want to, and it actually could help you push the cables in more. I didn't do it just because it had so much cables there that it was too crowded. And you don't need it if you're not using hard drives anyway, so that's why. So now we have the build. As you can see, everything's good. Vertical mount GPU. I could use some ties and get the cables, you know, nicer, but because I'm trying to just get the build done, I didn't. There is definitely ways to improve this, and you do have room here. You can see that there is room in this case, even with it being a mid-tower. So let's plug it in one more time. Move it over slightly. Okay. And with that, Xtreme Performance Gaming Invader X case. So, once again, this is the Invader X mid-tower chassis. This is the base model, so the original black model. I do think that these are supposed to actually be white LED fans. I at home have the higher end model, so it comes with pre-installed ARGB fans, which is why I thought these would be RGB as well. I did do something wrong with the cooler fan connector, but yeah, with the base ones, I did get right. They are white LED, so they're not ARGB. But if you get the advanced model, that comes with ARGB fans. As I said, we now have multiple other models. Like this is the base, but we have the BTF, which we showed at Computex, and we also have other models as well. So definitely check that out. And but yeah, really nice case family. And again, we use the XPG Levante X360 AIO cooler. We use an XPG 1 terabyte M.2 SSD. I can't remember the exact model number right now. And then we, obviously use the XPG Fusion 1600 watt titanium PSU. And then our Lancer DDR5 ARGB DRAM, 32 gigabyte sticks. And then the rest of it is not a XPG product, so I'm not going to go through them. But thanks for watching. Again, this is Xtreme Performance Gaming. If there are any products you want to see us do, or if you have any specific types of videos you want to see with any product, so if there's something else you'd like to see with the case, if you'd like to see something with power supply, like we're going to do an unboxing video, if there's anything you want to see, let us know in the comments and we will do that. So thanks for watching, and hopefully we will see you on the next Xtreme Performance Gaming. Bye!
It's never luck, so make a choice. Blades and laser beams, run, chase or fight.